back to the channel, guys. So we're back with another video, and it's our last video in the pin bar series. So we are going to look at some examples where you can trade pin bar coupled with key levels to get some good quality setups for better opportunities. So without wasting any time, let's jump right into it, guys. So we are going to start we are going to use GBP Canadian as an example, and we're using the 1 day chart, or the 1 day at 1 hour time frame. So try to look for opportunities at levels or key levels on the chart. So as we can see right here, we have a trend that has been moving to the upward side and trying to create it's creating, as you can see there, it's creating a rising wedge, which is a good indicator, that a good example that the market is trying to move up, but the momentum is slowing, whereby the market is going to make a drastic change to the opposite side. So let's see how this plays out. So we come here, the market breaks the trend line and it comes back to the resistance or the supply zone, and it moves down properly. So this was a good entry that created at least a 1 to 1.5 risk to return, and it came back again and retested. Now this is what we are looking for, a pin bar. Now a pin bar is a good signal or an indication of a strong rejection of that exact zone. Now for this example right here, we are looking at a strong rejection of this supply zone. Now this will give you a good entry that will give you at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now as you can see, this pin bar exactly had a good setup where you could have entered your sell position right there, kept your stop loss right there, and target right there. Now that was a good order, which is a 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 1, give or take. So let's look at the second example right here. Again, a pin bar into the supply zone, and this is a good indication that we are trying to push again to the downward side, because there is a zone already that was set, retested, and it has created a supply zone. This becomes a good entry after the close of this pin bar. It closed upwards because it's a green candle. Now it means your entry could have been right there. If you could have waited for the next candle, you would have missed a good amount of profits right there. So let's look at the continuation of how the market looks like. That zone again worked out properly when the price came back again right there. So we saw a resistance that was broken, so there is a break of structure in this area, and then the market comes back and creates a pin bar. So this is a very huge pin bar. Now in this case, sometimes these are the kind of orders that I first let the market run and wait for another setup, because such an entry will give you a very difficult risk to return, which could be a very risky trade to enter. But with this pin bar, it shows you that you're moving to the upward side, which means the candle is closed somewhere below here, and also it could have been a good entry to move to the upward side. But these huge candles, sometimes I let them go, because sometimes they give you very difficult risk to reward, and I try to capitalize on the next opportunities. Now if you start looking at the next opportunity, which is another break and retest of structure, we can see another pin bar that formed right here on a Thursday, 17th of August. We are looking at GBP Canadian on the 1 hour chart, and we are trying to analyze how you get opportunities with a pin bar coupled with the key levels that are created in the market. Now this was a resistance right here, and this resistance was broken to the upward side, retested the first time and retested the second time. But the second time we got a very good rejection of this support, a very good rejection, and it shows you the price is not going down. This was a good entry, and you can see how that impulse move was created, which means you have to understand a lot of technicals and coupled with fundamentals, but we are looking at technical analysis for this video. You have to understand all the different aspects in technical analysis, whereby by the time you reach this pin bar, you already know your key levels, your break of structures, and your pin bar formation to catch this opportunity. Now if we start going forward, we see another key level that was created, which is a fair value gap right there, and then price came back and reacted properly in the fair value gap, which gives us a second opportunity when price comes back there. And you see how that pin bar was formed in rejection to this fair value gap, and you can see the move that came afterwards. Now in all these scenarios, we are only looking at the pin bar. We are not looking at anything else. Pin bar coupled with a confirmation from key levels. Let's try to look for a different example right here. So the price market came back, did some couple of impulse moves. Again, we are looking for our setups only. So let's see here, we're looking at a setup here where market created a strong support and then a strong demand here, and then a support came in. So it shows you this is a strong buy zone, and wait for the market to return at a later stage, and you see how you get that pin bar and the next impulse move. Even if you come right here, you see how you get those two pin bars, and then you catch that next move. It was a little move, but you could have got a 1 to 2 risk to reward. So let's look at this couple of examples, the last ones before we close our video. We can see a break of structure to the downward side and a rejection. You can see those two rejections after the break of support, a break of structure right here. So this support or demand was broken to the downward side and retested. So the retest, what are we looking for? We are looking for signals to enter and open sell positions. So these short orders were opened either here or here, these two pin bar candles. A little risk above the demand zone, and you try to target the previous support. Now this could have been easily a 1 to 2 risk to return order. And we look at this support that was created at a later stage. It was broken, retested, broken, retested, again broken, and we can see a pin bar that was formed below the support. Now all this was an indication, all this small low volume area was the opening of Asian session, but towards the opening of London session, we saw that pin bar on a currency like GBP Canadian is very strong in the Asian, the London session, and this was another opportunity to enter the downward side. Now this was our video about the pin bar and confirmation with the key levels. So thanks for watching, guys, and keep it up.